You know that when you are selling a product or service that oftentimes you will receive an objection. And sometimes you'll see these sales strategies where they'll say that's not the real objection. And oftentimes it's really not. And they will kind of give you these sales tactics to like get people to do what you want them to do. And oftentimes it's actually manipulative. Well, today we on the Key and Kelly podcast are going to talk about how to handle objections, how to qualify the leads that come in, and then how to actually close. Welcome back to another episode of the Key and Kelly podcast, where I'm teaching you about all things life and business, helping you make more money and have a balanced life. And so today we're talking about handling objections, qualifying leads, and actually closing them. Now, if you have been connected to me for 1 minute or 100,000 minutes, you know that I don't believe in strong arming people. I don't believe in using manipulation to get people to do what I want them to do. I just don't. I believe in being honest. Okay. So this episode today is not about tactics or clickbait type things. This is about honesty and integrity, but also being able to sell. Okay. I tell people all the time, I can sell condoms to the Pope. I've been in sales pretty much my entire life. Okay. So I can sell anything to anybody, but I don't like to use manipulation. I was like that for a long time. And then I was just like, that's bad, when God wrapped his hand around me and was like, ma'am, sit down. And so I had to learn how to sell my products more honestly. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. So first, one of the things to understand about selling a product or service, that first of all, we know that we have to have a target audience, that specific group of people that we want to sell our products and services to. Okay. Now, when it comes to that, you've got to be extremely specific, because oftentimes what happened is that people, or we, are trying to sell our products and services to everybody. But the truth is, everybody's not going to buy from us. They're just not, right? Like, I am not a girl who is going to go and spend $40 on a tube of lipstick. I'm just not like that, right? Maybe I'm like that when I'm a multi-millionaire, but as of right now, I'm just not that girl. But there are women, girls like that, and that is perfectly okay. And so their job, the people that sell $40 lipstick, their job is to reach their girl and to sell her $40 lipstick. Okay, so you got to get very clear on who it is you're trying to target with your products. For example, in our business, the main person that I love working with is a woman. She is 30 years of age and older. She makes at least $75,000 a year at her job or in her business. She is confident, right? She loves social media. She's willing to show up on video. She may not know what she's doing, but she's willing to do it. And she will do whatever I tell her to do. Okay? Not because it's bad, but because she's like, I'll try it. I'll try this. I'll try that. That is my girl, right? And so the reason why I have that narrowed in, because that person, it feels really good for me when I work with her, when I am telling her exactly what to do and she's doing it, and she's consistent and she's getting results. When I tell her the price of a product and she doesn't try to ask me for a discount, or she's just not mean about it. Listen. I am my own girl, right? So like I've been in a lot of coaching programs. I pay for like multi-payments and all that type of stuff. So I don't care if a person pays one-time payment or multi-payments. I just care for the person that says, I'm in, I'm going to figure out how to do this, and I'm in. That is my girl, okay? And so for you, you've got to know who your person or people are, because one of the things to know about making a sale, closing the deal, is that you can't close a person who can't afford you. Amen. You cannot close a person or a sale to a person who doesn't have the money. You cannot. I don't care how good your sales pitch is. I don't care how good your marketing is. A person that does not have the money to spend with you can't spend. And so you have to make sure that before we start the whole sales process and closing and all that, that you're actually reaching the right people, which is why we are talking about qualifying leads. Okay, that's first. So before we get to the close, we have to actually qualify our leads. And so What does it mean to qualify leads? Okay, for example, we at our company, all right, we offer different types of services. And one of the services that we offer is private coaching, like long-term private coaching. And you typically will not see me on social media talking all about that long-term private coaching because most people, not all, that are connected to us are not ready or willing to invest that level of money with us yet, right? So what we do is we qualify our leads. And so first things first, if you are trying to sell, especially a more higher ticket item product or consulting, instead of you booking people for these 15-minute consulting sessions or like, the discovery call, don't do that. Before you start doing that, you need to have like a qualifying application. Let me explain. So let's just say you want to work with people and it's $500 an hour, $200 an hour or whatever. But before you sell them the consulting hour, you want to do a discovery call, right? If that's what you want to do, that's great. But instead of you doing 100 discovery calls, what about having 100 people pre-qualify themselves? So what does that mean? If you send it out an email, if you have a link in your bio, whatever, it's actually an application. And with this application, it has them put out their name, their email address, who they are, what they do, how much money they make. And then you're saying, are you willing to spend this between this amount and this amount, right? So our application will say, are you willing to spend at least $1,200 a month up to $10,000? If you're willing to spend at least $1,200 a month up to $10,000, then that's our girl. If she checks no, then we already know she's not the prime person for that particular offer because she just said she is not willing to spend the money. So why would I get her on a sales call when she just said she is not willing to spend the money? Right? And so you want to try to pre-qualify your leads, which is going to help you to not have all these calls with all these people. I've got so many clients and they do I had one client who has 45-minute free strategy sessions. I said, you getting rid of that right now. And she goes, what? I said, you mean almost a whole hour you spend with people for free before they buy? I said, girl, no. You need to have an application. That way, the right people, you get on the phone with them. Because listen, you only got 24 hours in a day. And typically the workday is like 8 hours. And so you've got to start pre-qualifying people. It's going to save you so much time and so much money. Now listen, this doesn't make you better than other people or whatever. It just means you are running a business. And when you are running a business, you have to run a business. There's only so much time you have. And in order for you to pay yourself, pay your employees, pay the bills you got to pay, the business has to make money. So I'm saying that to give you this unconscious permission to not feel so guilty when you're not taking everybody, when you're not giving everybody discounts, because your rent, your mortgage is never discounted. It's just not. You got to pay full price every month or whatever. And so you want to be pre-qualifying people, okay? Now, the next part about this is the objections, okay? Because once you've pre-qualified people or what have you, and now you've gotten them on a sales call or whatever is happening, and you try to sell them your product or service, sometimes people are going to give you objections. They'll say, well, I can't because of this, or I'll have to come back because of this or whatever. Now, you've got a couple of options. One, you can say, okay, I'll follow up with you. That's perfectly fine. You can say, I hear you, I heard you, okay, that is fine. And you can let that be what that is. That's perfectly okay. But what you can also do is try to uncover, is there something on the inside of that objection that they're actually not saying? Right? Because sometimes when people give you an objection, that's not actually what they're thinking or what they're feeling. They're just giving you that particular excuse. Sometimes, but you don't know it until you probe. So I'll give you an example. If I tell someone that my services are $2,500 a month to work with me as a coach or whatever, right? If a person says to me, okay, I will get back to you, I don't have the money right now, I have the option of being able to say, okay, you said you want to work with me one-on-one. You said you want me to help you grow your business. And you said you don't have the money right now. Can you tell me more about that? Asking that question allows them to tell me more. I don't manipulate them. I don't strong arm them. I just don't take what they said and leave it there. I invite them to tell me more. And so that person may say, well, because right now $2,500 a month is a lot. I'm not quite sure if I'm able to swing that. But I just don't know. And then I would say, I totally understand that $2,500 a month is not chump change. Okay, got it. So I'm curious, if we had some type of payment plan, would that be better for you? Or what if we met once a month versus twice a month and the rate was actually half of that? Would that work for you? Right? And so I just gave them another option, right? I didn't discount it. And just instead of me giving them so many calls, I gave them less calls for less money and then offered a payment plan. Right? So I just offered a new deal, right? And so I didn't strong arm, I didn't lie, I didn't manipulate, I didn't say anything bad. I just gave them another option. Happens all the time. People go, yeah, I could do that. Sometimes when I'm selling my courses, people will say, well, I would join, but I need actually a more payment plan. I'm like, okay, so we have 3 payments. That doesn't work for you. And then sometimes they'll say, well, no. I was like, well, does 5 payments work for you? Actually, yes, that does. And then our team will unlock a 5 payment plan. It's the same money. It's just that now it's just stretched out a little bit longer. And so instead of me just taking the initial objection, I'm probing and I'm asking for more and seeing what we can do. Okay. Sometimes I'll get an objection and they'll say, oh, the money or whatever. And I say, oh, you said you don't have the money. And they're like, well, yeah, but I also, and they'll tell you the other real objection. They may say, well, I invested in somebody else before and I'm just a little nervous that I'm not going to get any results. And I'll say, okay, you've invested before, you didn't get any results. What did your other coach tell you to do? What was the plan? Okay. Did you do what they told you to do? And then sometimes they'll say no. And then I'll laugh and I'll say, well, you can get success if you actually do what we tell you to do. But did you find it hard to do what they were telling you to do? Is there any kind of extra support that you felt that you needed in order to be successful? And if they say, well, I need to be able to do this, this, and this. If our company has the bandwidth to be able to assist them with this, this, and this, then we get to say, okay, well, we actually can do this, this, and this with that for this price. Will that work for you if we can help you with that? Right? And sometimes they'll go, yeah, that would be great. That would work awesome for me. Right? And then other times they may say, well, I just need some reassurance. How do I know that this is actually going to work for me? And then I'll say, well, we don't guarantee success, right? I cannot guarantee you that you're going to be incredibly successful. But here's what I can guarantee, that I am going to do everything in my power and teach you everything you need to know to be successful. But at the end of the day, I still need you to go out and do it, because I can't do the work for you. I can teach you, coach you, give you everything that I have to offer. But at the end of the day, I need you to go and do the work. If you're willing to do the work, I will give you everything that I got. And so it just continues on the conversation versus just being like, I don't have the money, I'll get back to you. Does that make sense? And so it's easy to close the sale if it's still a relationship. It's not just a transactional, here's what I'm going to offer, pay me. No. If you really, really, really want to be able to help clients, if you're working one-on-one or whatever your thing is that you want to try to make it as conversational as possible. I had a program or something I was paying for, and I was like, I don't need Netflix. So I was paying for 2 TVs for Netflix. I only watch Netflix on 1 TV. I just, whatever. And so I was like, I'm canceling it because they went up on the price. And I was like, I'm not paying for that double. So I went to Netflix to cancel the 1 TV because I never watched TV on the other TV. And then Netflix was like, hey, we'll actually take the price down to something super low. And I was like, I'll take it. Right? But so Netflix, instead of them just allowing me to cancel, they gave me another option. Does that make sense? And so you can give people another option. It's your business. You get to do whatever you want to do. Not saying discount it. I'm just saying that there are those opportunities. Okay. So, and that's how you're going to be able to close the sale. You qualify people and then you handle their objections and you make it a conversational, relational type of conversation. All right. So if you have found this episode valuable, please let me know. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like the video, comment below and ask any questions, and subscribe to the channel. If you are listening to this on the podcast, please come on social media. Let me know what you have loved about the episode. I would love to know. And if you start closing sales better, let me know that as well. So thank you so much for listening and watching.